Have you ever wondered what it takes to stay motivated and stay focused and excited and in that creative, juicy flow? Well, we're going to talk about it today in Monday Musings. Welcome back to another Monday Musings. If you are new with me, welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and then the little bell to give you notifications to let you know when we come live every single Monday, giving you tips and tools to reconnect you to your intuition, awaken your soul, and live a life filled with passion and purpose. Before we actually dive into these mindset motivation tips, let's talk about motivation for a second, and let's talk about mindset. So in our mind, there's always chatter going on. There's always some sort of conversation. What's for lunch? I don't know. Did you make something? Oh, did you forget to put that in the fridge? Oh, it's time to turn right. No, you should turn left because Bobby's house is that way. No, you should do right. There's this constant chatter inside of our mind. And many times it's judgment. Many times it's this negative self-talk. And unless we learn to actually train this voice inside to see something different, we kind of get off track, right? We get separated from our goals and desires. We get separated from our inner being. We get separated from this truth of love. So now the motivation piece. Motivation in our lives is so important. It helps us be a better mom. It helps us be a better businesswoman. It helps us be a better sister. It helps us be a better human being on this planet whenever we are in this flow and in this creativity and actually motivated to wake up every single day. So, tip number one when it comes to motivational mindset shifts is going from a place of judgment thought to a place of curiosity. So, I'll explain what that means. When we come from a place of judgment, we are shutting our minds and our hearts off to the possibilities that are available. But when we come from a place of curiosity, it becomes playful, it becomes wonderment, it becomes something where our hearts and our minds become aligned to actually figure the thing out. Have you ever been walking down the street and seen somebody and in your mind thought, she's only fit because her genetics are that way. I'm sure she's been skinny all of her life. Right? And we have these thoughts that are going on in our heads that are judgment-based, which, by the way, is not good for our own energetic health. We can do a video on that on a different time. But if we think about what would it look like if you were curious about the situation? I'm really curious how she got so fit. I wonder what she does. Maybe she has a stylist for her clothes. Maybe she goes to the gym every day. Maybe she's doing yoga instead of bodybuilding, right? When we become curious, our mind wants to create. And then you could also ask and be curious. And when you ask, you could also engage in conversation and actually create a relationship versus separation. Another example here would be when it comes to cars. So maybe you're driving and you see somebody with a Rolls Royce and you're like, man, there's no way I'll ever get there, right? And you start judging yourself, or you say, man, they only got that because they're a trust fund baby. And then maybe you drive by somebody who has a really crappy beat up car and you're like, man, I feel sorry for them. They must have a real shit life. However, we might have it totally twisted because our brains like to create stories. So what would be a mindset shift to keep you in a flow of motivation and keep you striving for something? You could say, I wonder how they got that Rolls Royce. Maybe they started a business. Maybe they've been really smart in relationship building. Maybe they know some really amazing people. How could I meet that person? What would it look like if? What would it look like if? That is a great thing that you can journal. What would it look like if? Okay, post in the comments below, what would it look like if, and then fill in the blank. I would love to see your comments. Okay, and then if we come back to this old beat up car, maybe the person is a billionaire, but they're driving this car because they remember the feeling of where they came from. Or maybe it's someone who is working with old beat up cars to make a living, and they take them from the owner to the mechanic's place, right? We have no idea what it is, but we create these judgments that brings our energy and our vibration down. So again, the first mindset shift is going from judgment to a place of curiosity. Mindset shift number 2. Here we go. So we're going from fear to fear with fun. What? That sounds crazy, but here's the thing. Most of the time, our fear actually doesn't go away. We just learn how to cope with the fear, so the fear isn't the loudest voice, right? Fear becomes softer, and the courage and the excitement and the fun and the motivation becomes stronger to move forward. So how do we actually do this? Well, when we feel that fear feeling or that feeling of doubt, when doubt comes in and it says, you can't do that, you're not qualified for that project, what you can do is bring in a sense of fun. So kind of like adding on or tag teaming from this curiosity vibe, you want to say, okay, I can't do it, try me, right? You want to engage in the conversation instead of letting the conversation of this negative self-talk come at you where it becomes so debilitating and so fearful. You want to start laughing with it. Literally start laughing. If you think of something right now that is holding you back, what is the thing? Do you feel too young, too old, too out of touch with something, too new at something? What's holding you back right now? Got it? Okay, now you could probably feel like there might be a funky gut feeling that comes along with this. There might be something where you're like, oh, like you can just feel that fear. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna laugh out loud, and I want you to laugh out loud with me. So ready, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's funny. It's funny, you can't help but to laugh. When you're smiling and you're laughing, whatever fear is around is gone. So you want to bring that laughter and that playfulness into your experience, because it will completely turn the fear around. Now you might be thinking, well, yeah, maybe for a moment, but if you do it for a moment, and then you do it for a moment more, and then you do it for a moment more, and then you do it for a moment more, guess what? You just took however many steps forward, and you're not taking steps back. So in my book, that's being with your motivational mindset, taking steps forward to actually keep you motivated and achieving something. Motivation mindset, tip number 3. Okay, this is all about going from a scarcity and lack mindset to an abundance mindset. This one I think is maybe one of the hardest that we go through, one of the hardest choices that we make, because we are so connected to the suffering in this world that we are afraid to let go of what it might look like on the side of abundance. So let's talk through this, because I'm not just talking about money here. I'm talking about opportunities. I'm talking about relationship. I'm talking about love. If you feel like there is a lack of love, but you are desiring a full abundance of love, there's something that you're still attached to in the lacking of love, that you still have some belief that, why would someone want to love you? Or nobody loves me. And so you're in this constant repetition of the lack. Nobody loves me, nobody loves me, nobody loves me, which I don't want to affirm that. So cancel, clear, delete that. But what's happening is that you're stuck in that mindset when you're not seeing the abundance of love that is surrounding you. We go into self-sabotage when it comes to this lack and this scarcity. There is opportunity everywhere. When there is a will, there is a way. And we have to step into a place where we actually believe that there is abundance, that we actually believe that the money circulating in the world is ours for the taking. We just have to decide that we're worth it. We just have to wake up and say, I am worthy of cash flow today, right? And you don't have to do it like that, or maybe you do, right? Tony Robbins talks about incantations and getting really loud and moving through your body. But what happens is it brings in the energy of winning. It brings in the energy of the loving. It brings in the energy of the money. It brings in the energy of happiness, right? It is all about this within. The circumstances without or not without, the circumstances, yeah, without us. That makes sense, right? Okay, so what's going on outside of us is only a result of what's happening inside of our heart, inside of our mind, right? So what is something that you can actually do? You can catch the thought, okay? Catch the thought. When you have the thought of, I can't do that, or my money's low in my bank account again, or whatever it is, and you feel that down energy about it, I want you to like take that thought out, okay? Be a linebacker. Is that what it's called? I'm not really a football fan. Right? Take that thought out like you're tackling them. Take the thought and tackle the thought. And from there and only there are you able to replace it with a new thought. There's something more for me here. I'm made for more than this. I welcome abundance every single day. I am walking abundance. Life is plentiful. When I am open and ready, I will receive. And that day is today. So, that's a lot for you. This video has been longer than normal, but there's lots of juicy stuff in here. And real quick, as a bonus mindset motivation tip, when in doubt, nature walk it out. When we get out in nature, our mindset shifts. We can't help but to see the grass and hear the waterfall and look up at the trees and hear the birds. And if you're still disconnected to that, you got to get out and walk and walk and walk and walk and be in nature as much as you can. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful, amazing, absolutely blessed day. Peace. Hey, Elyse here. My guess is if you've gotten this far in the video, you are enjoying watching. But just in case, here are a few things that you can do to let us know. You can hit the thumbs up button, let us know that you're liking the videos. Number 2, hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Number 3, that little bell that you see, that actually, if you click on that, it's gonna notify you every time we give out new content and new videos. And lastly, share the videos that you're loving. Have a beautiful, amazing, wonderful, blessed day. Peace.